Hello, hello. You probably still suck at aerial refueling. It's been like 8 years since VTOL VR originally came out. God, it's really been 8 years. Damn, where's time gone? Anyways, it's been like 8 years since VTOL VR came out, and you probably still st- you there's the right gesture. You probably still suck at aerial refueling. So today, I'm gonna whip you into shape and give you some tips on how to air refueling so you don't do this
Contact.
or this.
Hold that position. Disconnecting. Hold it together now.
Anyways, so yeah, let's get into it. I'll be giving you some tips and tricks for aerial refueling and demonstrating it in a few different aircraft. So let's get into it. All right. So the first step in aerial refueling is knowing your aircraft. Well, first, of course, knowing how your aircraft handles, of course, that is, of course, very helpful. But also you also kind of gotta know where your refueling port is, because that's a little essential for positioning yourself with relative to the tanker. So, so, so I'll go over where all the fuel ports are on different aircraft. So here on the F-26B, the fuel port is on the nose, so it's really easy to see where it connects, and it's considered to be the easiest aircraft in the game to a refuel. Now on the AV-42, the fuel port is on the top of the fuselage, basically right above the passenger bay. On the T-55, the fuel port is behind the cockpit, and on the F-45 and EF-24, the fuel port is basically like right above the is like right above the right air intake. So yeah, the in particular the F-45 and EF-24 has a bit of extra complications when trying to air refuel, because you also have to position your aircraft a bit to the left to compensate for the fuel port being on the right. Oh, and the AH-94 doesn't have a fuel port because it does not support aerial refueling. And in case you want to refuel one of the modded aircraft, the F-16's fuel port is behind the cockpit, and the A-10's fuel port is on the nose, just like the F-A-26 Bravo. Anyways, that's step one out of the way. Step two, tip number two. First of all, let's locate the tanker. You can press the fuel button on your nav display to mark usually that'll set a waypoint for the tanker if it's set if the tanker is actually designated in the mission. And we can also see the tanker on our radar. So here's tip number two. You want to identify the speed and altitude of the tanker. And the best way to do that is use your radar. So you can see here, the tanker is at 11,000 feet, Angels 11 at Mach 0.6, Mach 0.60, and yeah, and that is also a pro tip. Use the Mach number to align your speed. Use the aircraft's Mach number to align your speed, not the actual not your actual airspeed, because remember, airspeed, it changes depending on your altitude. Because indicated airspeed and true airspeed are a thing. And your speed display shows indicated airspeed. Anyways, so we can see the tanker is at Mach 0.6. You can see a tanker right over there. So next tip, next tip is just fly alongside the tanker in formation for a little bit before attempting to refuel. Don't rush the refueling process. Just get information alongside the tanker. That'll help you get a feel for your controls, the controls needed to maintain to maintain altitude and speed with the tanker. So let's approach the tanker. The tanker is over there, 2 miles away, so we have plenty of distance. We can speed up a bit. So for matching an aircraft's speed, for getting into formation with an aircraft, what I like to do is basically just go full throttle approaching the tanker, but then once we get under 1 nautical mile, I just slam on the brakes, and that usually works most of the time. Although if you're going really fast, that you might overshoot a little bit, but that's fine here. Anyways, gonna slam on the brakes. Remember, the tank is moving at Mach 0.6. So, and then we're gonna slam on the brakes until like about Mach 0.2-ish. What Mach 0.1 to Mach 0.2 faster than the tanker. Like 0.1 or 0.2 Mach. Anyways, slowly approach the tanker. Remember, Mach 0.6. Slowly. For proper procedure, I'm also gonna switch on my nav lights. And we slowly get information, and so now, as I said, we're gonna get information with the tanker, just to get a feel for how the control, just to get a feel for the controls when matching the tanker's altitude and speed. So you can see we are flying nicely in formation with the tanker. Of course, if you have experience with formation flying, that will greatly help. Just remember, just get nice and tight with the tanker. Small adjustments. Make small adjustments, get a feel for your throttle position, and to maintain speed. To maintain in the tanker's speed. This will take practice, and yeah, just practice. It's a lot it just needs a lot of practice. So practice. Just practice. Find some practice scenarios. This is the built-in aerial refueling practice scenario that comes with the FA-26. So yeah, just load that up and practice with the tank. Just practice. So we're getting a good feel for maintaining formation with the tanker. We can also, while we're maintaining formation, we can also like take a look at our actual indicated airspeed, see what it works best with matching the tanker's speed. You can just try to match tanker's speed with your indicated airspeed up there. So here it looks like the tanker is moving at about. Okay, this is a little too fast because we're closing with the tanker. About 332 knots. It appears maybe 331, 332 knots. So make mental note of that. Tanker to match tanker speed, we need to go about 332 knots. And once you think you've gotten a good feel for matching the tanker's speed and altitude and attitude and position, we can start the refueling process. So we're gonna get behind the tanker and a little bit below, and we're gonna open our fuel port. And so once once we're close enough to the tanker's gonna, and our fuel port is open. The tank is gonna lower its boom and light up its PDI lights. So you can see the PDI lights on the belly of the tanker. You can see there are 2 sets of lights. The lights on the left side indicate your vertical position, so basically up and down, your altitude in essence. And the right side indicates your longitudinal position, basically forward and backwards. So my advice is first of all try to get the vertical position into the green. So get your altitude into the green zone. Then slowly increase your speed. You don't want to increase your speed too much, like about 5 knots faster. And just slowly approach the tanker. Try to line up your fuel port with the hose, and we're connected.
Right there.
Now just watch those PDI lights. Watch your speed and the PDI lights. We're slowing down a bit too much, so let's let's very gently increase our throttle. And also my tip for maintaining speed. Also a tip I have for maintaining speed is just have position your throttle so that your you're just accelerating a tiny bit, and then just use your brakes to control your speed. Don't move your throttle. Just use your brakes to maintain in your speed. But just light, just light, just like intermittent brake taps, and it's just like that.
Refuel complete. You're good to go.
And look, and look at how and I mean, granted, I have quite a bit of experience with aero refueling in this game, in VTOL VR. So yeah, that was like nice and easy. You're right there. Probably should have turned off my radar so I didn't and just cook the fuel and possibly ignite something. It's fine. Anyways, yeah, it's just like that. It's just nice and easy. Make small adjustments. Tap your brake. Just tap the brakes to control your speed. And yeah, again, the F-26 is considered to be the easiest aircraft to refuel. So yeah, just stop practicing with the F-26 Bravo. Small adjustments. Use your brake. Tap the brakes to control your speed. All right, so that's done. Let's go demonstrate this in a different aircraft. All right, so here we are going to refuel in an EF-24. Now this is actually this is pretty much the exact same scenario as with this scenario is basically pretty much is almost exactly the same as the one with the F-26. In fact, I wonder if Baja basically just reused the scenario just with the EF-24. Anyways, there's the tanker over there. Now with the F-45 or EF-24. One advantage is you don't even need to switch on your radar because you can just look at the aircrafts. You can look at the tanker's altitude and speed with your TSD. Don't even need to switch on your radar, and you can even see the tanker's heading, which is also helpful. Anyway, as we can see here, the tanker is at Angels 11 Mach 0.57. So once again, we are going to approach the tanker. We are going to approach the tanker. We're going to fly in formation with it. And then once we get the fuel, we're going to commence the refueling. Once you get a feel for the words. Also, one weird quirk with the EF-24 compared to literally every other aircraft. The fuel gauge on the EF-24 measures fuel in pounds, but every other aircraft measures fuel in liters. So yeah, the EF-24 measures the weight of fuel that you have, but every other aircraft measures the volume of fuel. I wonder why that is. Anyways, in the end, it doesn't really matter. Gonna slowly approach a tanker. Mach 0.57, Angels 11. All right, we're matching its altitude. Slowly reduce our speed. Reduce our speed to match the tanker's speed. Nav lights on. All right, and we are matched with the tanker. Get a feel for maintaining speed and altitude with the tanker. I basically recommend always doing this. It's just really helpful to get a feel and to just get a look at the exact speed the tanker is flying. We're going a bit too slow. Let's speed up a bit. So the tanker is going at like about 314 knots, something like that. 314 knots. Get a good feel for. Oh, and also another useful thing with the EF-24 is you can also see the bank angle that you need to maintain if the tanker is turning, like the tanker is orbiting. You can also see the bank angle that you need to maintain to you know, maintain the tanker's position. So, you know, just start banking a little bit to match tanker's turn rate. Then you can see your bank angle down there. I don't know. Oh, I don't exactly know. Oh, what the scale is on the lines, but I think it's probably like something like 5 degrees each. I think it's something like 5 degrees each per line or something like that. So we need to maintain about a 5-degree bank angle. Anyways, let's go. Let's commence the refueling. I've seen enough. Let's commence refueling. Fuel port open. All right, we're too high. Let's descend a bit. Watch that PDI lights, and remember, in this aircraft, the fuel port is above the right air intake, right there. So, which means we need to position our aircraft a bit to the left to compensate. But also, this aircraft can be a little annoying to refuel because of the bracing that's like in the perfect position to block your. That's often in the perfect position just to block your view of the PDI lights. So that's annoying. All right. Anyways, slowly increasing our speed. Slowly increase speed and approach the boom. Perfect.
Contact. Hold it right there.
Maintain speed. Going a bit too fast. 314 knots-ish. Descending a bit too much. Too fast. Watch those PDI lights. And take a quick peek at your speed while doing so. Don't let your speed increase too much, remember. Or decrease too much either.
Out of range.
Oops.
Disconnecting.
Oops. Out of range. Oops.
Contact. Hold it right there.
My B. All right.
Range.
What do you mean out of range? Wait, what do you mean out of range? What do you mean out of range? What? What are you talking? What do you mean out of range? Anyways, we're basically full anyways. I don't know what he means by out of range. Those PDI lights were perfect. Maybe I was like, I was moving a bit too far to the right or something. Anyways, we're basically full. It doesn't matter. We're full. We're just about full anyways. It's fine. So, yeah. Yeah. That's refueling the EF-24G. Again, a bit more complicated due to the... It's just slightly more complicated due to the fuel port being on the being off center line to the right, and also because of the brace, the cockpit bracing. But yeah, the canopy bracing. But oh well. But yeah, we still did it. That was almost perfect. That refueling was almost perfect. I guess I shifted a little bit too far to the right or something. I don't know. Maybe I do have the third-person spectator cam up, so I can probably... You guys can probably see what went wrong there. But anyways, before we end off the video, I have one more demonstration to show. So for our last demonstration, we are going to be refueling in an in an F-45, but not from a KC-49 as we've been doing before. Instead, we will be refueling from an MQ-31. Now, an MQ-31 is significantly harder to refuel from than a KC-49. In fact, one might say, what some might call really hard. And my advice for refueling from an MQ-31 is to not refuel from an MQ-31 unless you're really good at aerial refueling. But I'm just gonna show you. But I guess I'll show you anyways. So here's what we're gonna do. So the MQ-31. This is a scenario that I found on the workshop. It's a pretty old scenario, but it's just called F-45 aerial refueling practice. And I had to get this because the F-45 doesn't have a built-in aerial refueling practice scenario. So I just got this from the workshop. Oh jeez. Anyways, here's the MQ-31. It is a carrier-based refueling drone. And yeah, and it's often used if you are, and you actually see it pretty often in basically in the carrier-based, in a lot of the carrier-based missions in the default campaigns. So yeah. So here is the MQ-31. It is a drone. It is a drone. Now, the MQ-31's small size actually presents quite a bit of a problem when refueling. First of all, its boom is smaller and shorter, which means you have to get uncomfortably close to the drone to connect with the boom. Second, its boom also has less travel than the KC-49, so that means you have a smaller margin of error. And also, the MQ-31 lacks PDI lights, so you means you have no guidance other than the color of the hose coming out of the boom. Which, in case you don't know, the color of the hose helps guide your position. The color of the hose the color of the hose is not just to make it look pretty. It helps give guidance when refueling. You want it to basically see. Ideally, you want to just see the green part coming out of the boom. And then whether the green part is going in too much or coming out too much, that'll let you know how to adjust. They'll maybe let you know whether to adjust closer or further. Anyways, here's the MQ-31. Let's get into formation of the MQ-31. In this scenario, it's actually pretty annoying to match the MQ-31 because it's going so slow. It's going at Mach 0.41, which is annoyingly slow. And that presents some control issues. But as you can see, Mach 0.41 is like 230 knots. Which is, annoyingly slow. That presents quite a bit of control issues. And yeah, notably with this aircraft, that I think that's slow enough for the automatic flaps to start deploying. And yeah, that makes it really annoying to control. But anyways. But yeah, another tip is if the tanker is going slow enough, you might want to consider deploying flaps. You may want to consider deploying flaps to help you control your aircraft. Anyways, let's fly in formation with the tanker, the drone. Where is this drone store all of its fuel anyways? Like, it can store a lot of fuel, but where is it storing its fuel? In the fuselage? In the wings? Probably in the wings. It's probably in the wings, just like a normal, just like maybe both, maybe both in the fuselage and in the wings. Although it seems like a lot of the fuselage is taken up by the engines. But anyways, but I digress. Let's let's get into formation with the drone. Try to match its speed and altitude. We're basically matched right now, although we're going a little too slow. Seems like we want to match about 234 knots. That seems to be the ideal speed. Yep, basically 234 knots. Yep, okay. Let's go for it. Again, this is by no means going to be an expert showing of refueling from an MQ-31. Okay, because I'm not good at refueling from an MQ-31, but we're just gonna try it together. We'll just give it a shot anyways. All right, slowly. Again, as you can see, no PDI lights. We basically have to eyeball the correct position. So I think we want to climb a little bit. All right, slow down, easy. We're going too fast.
Refueling.
Whoa! Calm down, plane. Okay, calm down.
Disconnecting.
Again, because of the slow speed, the slow speed makes it pretty annoying to control. Definitely presents some control issues. And also the small margins don't help either. Alright, just get a nice, comfortable seating position. And slowly.
Contact. Hold it right there.
Alright, that's a decent position. Whoa, we're getting a little too close there. Alright, easy, small adjustments. I'm not watching the hose. I can't, and look, I'm focusing on my speed right now. I'm basically focusing on my speed right now.
Refuel complete.
Oh, nice. Oh, hey, we did it. Nice. Hooray. Hey, that was actually not bad. Nice. That was actually not bad. That went better than I was expecting. That went better than I was expecting. Hooray. Yeah, that went surprisingly well. I'm amazed that refueling went that well. Hooray. Anyways, that's just some tips and tricks for aerial refueling. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys learned a thing or two from these demonstrations and these tips and tricks, and hopefully you guys will I don't know, will be better at aerial refueling. Maybe you guys maybe I'll inspire you guys to actually, try aerial refueling. Or even just or maybe even inspire you to practice aerial refueling more. Maybe you can start. Maybe eventually you'll be able to just refuel in one shot. You can do it. I believe in you. But yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you guys want me to make more VTOL VR tips and tricks. Like, I don't know, I'm thinking of maybe doing one for carrier landings as well, because I've been enlightened to the wisdom that is Case 1 carrier landings. Proper Case 1 carrier landings. I know it's crazy. Anyways, that's gonna be it. I guess I'll probably make that next. With that, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.